I am back with another video. The lighting is making me feel a little ghost-like. Goodness gracious, yeah. We're having a bit of a little flare-up, aren't we? Just health. I'm going through health things right now. And I'm feeling it. But anyway, I just wanted to say prayer is a sword and shield. There's a lot of fear on this planet. I have ambient sounds playing just for some white noise, but there's a lot of fear on this planet. And all I have to say is that your intuition, the voice of God, your connection with God, nothing outside of you can replace that. So as long as you're confident and you have faith and you have conviction, you can trust yourself in making the decisions that are going to be best for you. And don't take that as advice. Take that as, or don't take that as me telling you what to do. Take that as me telling you what I tell myself. This is what I tell myself. There are plenty of moments in life where right when I'm on the precipice or on the cusp of, I just have to scoot my nose rings around because I always like to make an appearance, but right when I'm on the cusp of taking a step forward or a leap of faith into a huge decision, a huge change, something really, really like life-alteringly significant, important. It's like fear and the devil and fear just comes up and opposes. Like there are times in life when, as you were, this again, when I say you, just bear in mind that even though my language choices aren't perfect and I'm not speaking in I language, I statements, every single sentence I say, everything I say is about my own experience and what I hear and what I speak and say within my own self. And you are allowed to do with all of that what you will. But every time I'm about to go deeper into my self-trust, my faith, my walk with God, the more I lean on Him, the more trust and faith I build in Him, the more the outside world is going to test me or, tug at me, try to drag me back into fear, try to rob me of this conviction and this confidence and this faith. And I'm not saying don't consider things that are worth and necessary to consider. Don't not consider your safety. Don't not consider what's going on in the world. Don't not consider potential dangers of doing what you're gonna do. Consider those things and build your relationship with God and with your intuition so that you learn to trust it. You learn to trust it. You learn what that unyielding thing is that you can lean on. And in life, we're always going to be taking leaps of faith. And there's always going to be fear of the unknown. There's always going to be fear of the unknown. But all we can do is walk with faith. Anything could happen. I don't care if you're about to go walk into a crazy, war-torn danger zone or into your bedroom. Sure, your bedroom provides, maybe for most people in general, a sense of familiarity, safety, and comfort and predictability. and a war zone is the complete opposite of that. But like, we are here standing right now, and when we honor the convictions that we're given that are inside of us, and we learn to trust God and lean on God and follow God's instructions over and over and over, and they always yield more clarity, more personal power. The more we do that, the deeper it's going to become. To the point where some people will look at you and they will fear for you. But their fears are not your fears. Their fears are not the voice of God. Their fears are not your knowledge, your experience, your intuition, your relationship with the divine. And sometimes their fears or outside influences make a very convincing argument as to why you should change your mind, or why you should back down on these plans, on these promises from God, on these things that God has in store for you. And I found myself, and I'm finding myself currently at the cusp of that. And I don't want it to be a battle. I don't need it to be a battle. You know, even though I did say prayer is a sword and a shield. But doing the godly thing, doing the thing that is right by God in my experience and my knowledge, is following peace, following that still, centered, truthful, anchor inside. So as soon as you start to feel, this is my advice, and this is my advice for myself and for you, I guess. But as soon as you start to feel the worry and the stirring, take your time to wait for an answer and be prepared to let go. Be prepared to let go of what you thought was right. Be prepared to detach, to surrender to God, because things do change, and it doesn't matter how certain you are, how trusting you are in what God told you a week ago. How confident are you now, right now, in surrendering to God? Whatever God's will is, whatever God instructs you to do, your intuition. If it changes, are you willing to let go of what you thought God wanted you to do before? Are you willing to really drop in and listen to what is right, what is good? And honestly, I have no idea how this is coming across to some people. There was a quote that I read today from a video that someone posted on YouTube that I follow, and it was like, making yourself visible will only emphasize the opinions people already had about you. So whether you speak up and show who you are or not, people will and do feel the same way about you. It's just when you make yourself seen, it emphasizes what's already in the hearts and minds of other people. So I'm standing here and I'm thinking, like, what are people going to think of this? They might think it's straight woo-woo. But it's really not a joke. It's really not a joke. The journey of walking the path that God has for you is so unfathomably personal and intimate that at times, no one can tell you what God is saying to you. You are the only one who can hear that. Some people might be able to pick up on things, but their voice is not God's voice. That's what I'm trying to say. There's a fine line. And so at the end of the day, I just want to encourage you to continue to surrender, continue to pray. And if there's something that you feel a conviction about in your heart, listen to it. And pray about it. And if there are forces of opposition that come in and try to sway you or make you feel out of balance, make you feel disconnected, make you feel lost, almost like you lose your footing and you're like, oh no, God, where'd you go? Whatever. When that happens, take a step back and pray about it. You know, I'm not kidding. Wait, be patient. Let the answer come. You don't need to make a decision. You will hear what you're supposed to do. If you release control, you surrender, and you allow the guidance to come, if you intentionally listen for it, until you feel peace and confidence and that certainty, you will receive it. You just need to wait for it sometimes. It's not just always handed. Sometimes we need to show that we have integrity, that we're committed, that we're available to listen by showing up over and over and over, like worshiping the feet of God kind of thing. An analogy is like if there's a stray cat in your neighborhood and you're trying to build a relationship with it and trap it in a cage to put it to a shelter, or give it medical care that it needs, or like give it a home or something in the winter if it needs that. It doesn't work to just go outside, go to that park you saw the cat at. Like one day you sit down for an hour and you get bored and you think, why isn't this cat showing up? I'm never gonna get it. No. You go back again and again. You put food out again and again. You spend time. You wait. You make yourself available. You keep the space open. You protect. You protect the container of your spirit, your psyche. You honor that with integrity, and you allow God to speak to you. It is not on your terms. It is not about your will. It's not about what you want. Sometimes your will and God's will are the same, but sometimes, as the classic saying goes, things don't always go as planned. Things don't always go your way. We make plans, and sometimes they work. Sometimes they're fruitful and fluid and successful and supported externally and wonderful and energizing. And sometimes we make plans and they get flipped on their heads. So if you have a plan coming up and you're starting to feel fear, or other people have fear and they're influencing your state about it, and now you feel shaken again, go back to God. Go back in prayer and wait for that answer. Wait for that conviction. Because other people's chatter and fears are not the voice of God. And if you're concerned about whether or not you should be concerned about what this fearful person is concerned about, go in prayer and set the stage. Like, open up a blank canvas and let God write on it and show you what you need to look out for, what you need to notice. And again, it's not about what you want. It's not about what you envision. It's not about what you are fantasizing about, what you're attached to. It's about what God knows. It's about the omniscience of God. God is all seeing. God knows everything. God knows the past and the present and the future and eternity. God is eternal. And I don't really know how to explain this to like an atheist or someone who doesn't agree with these statements. But I do think that there are other ways to communicate what I'm saying in ways that are more like quantum, causality oriented. I don't know. People who get it will get it. People who need this will take from it. And that's really what matters. So yeah, be patient, wait, And when you feel fears that you know are not in line with what you originally thought your plan was and what you originally thought God's instructions were, pray. Literally, like a light switch, change your mind and like sing out loud to drown out the fear. If you notice these thoughts, these fears that constrict you, being in that constricted, fearful energy doesn't allow you to be receptive, to listen to your intuition, to listen to God. So what you need to do is literally, sometimes you need to like drag your mind along with you and force it to focus. Like sometimes you need to beat it into submission. And I know that sounds cruel, but what's really cruel is when the voices of fear and doubt get such a hold on you that they paralyze you and they steal your vitality. They steal your life force. They steal your confidence. That's cruel. That's not cool. That's not a joke. So when that starts to happen, change your mind, get in prayer, go for a run. Running can be a meditation, a prayer. Meditating can be prayer. Making a piece of art can be a prayer. Talking to a friend can be a prayer. Going and doing community service can be a prayer. Swimming is a prayer. Even watching a movie, you know what I mean? Just like put your mind on a track of protection is really what I'm trying to say. Because this is about making yourself a channel for God and for the truth and for your intuition and for to receive inspiration, instructions, to walk a path of peace that is designed for your soul, not one that is obscured by fears that are really robbing your life force, robbing you from the capacity to serve the way that you're meant to serve. So that's all I have to say about that. Prayer is a sword and shield. Focus your mind. Don't get lost in fear. If you find yourself falling into fear, focus your mind. Get quiet. Be patient. Wait for God to tell you what you need to know. And lead with that. Lead with trust. True trust. Not insecurity. Not, I don't know, so I'm just going to jump into something. I wouldn't recommend that. I mean, okay, sometimes, yeah, we do it and things are fine. But as a way of making really important major life decisions, like, wait until that real conviction is there and it's unbreakable and you can lean on it. So that's all I have to say. I think I'm gonna, I just got inspired to pull some cards like Oracle, Tarot and stuff, and I haven't done those in a while. So I'm gonna end this video and then I'm gonna make another video probably about, just with some extra like insights and kind of recapping these points through cards, just for fun. So yeah, I will see you later.